Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. It's a brand new Monday, aka is this the week Nintendo reveals their E3 not E3 plans? I sure hope so, although I bet Pokemon comes first. Anyways, today we gotta talk about a lot of interesting things, including Mario Galaxy 2. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're doing fantastic and spiffy. Make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you want to be kept up to date on the latest and greatest from Nintendo, morning, noon, and night. We're kicking it off with an interesting story about Capcom. All right, Capcom has said that they are wanting to bring back some old franchises. And so I need you guys to tell me which ones you want back, because Capcom has been a beautiful supporter of Nintendo Switch. Monster Hunter Rise is golden and it's getting a big expansion later this summer. Resident Evil has been ridiculously cool this generation, although I'm still waiting on that Resident Evil Switch game. But they do have some franchises that have fallen. Stuff like Okami, stuff like Dragon's Dogma, and stuff like Beautiful Joe. I think Beautiful Joe is my pick. Look, Capcom, if you're gonna resurrect anything, I remember getting Beautiful Joe on the GameCube after seeing the cover on Nintendo Power, and I really enjoyed that game. He said something like, "Henshin a go-go baby." Still have no translation, but it sounded cool at the time for my 12-year-old self. Bring back Beautiful Joe. Also, a new Okami? Like, if they kind of did it up in more modern Zelda ways, that whole paintbrush mechanic was pretty sick, and I think it would work nicely on the Switch. Let me know if there's something you'd like from Capcom in the comments down below. And let me know if you'd like Mario Strikers Battle League, because Nintendo just released 4 new trailers, and man, they make those sports games look so darn good. The CG of Mario and Peach just kicking back, relaxing, chilling all cool, shooting some soccer balls outside Bowser's Castle is really, really nice looking. And it's got 8 players on the same Switch. You can bring a friend online with you. The customization and gear is looking better than ever. This game is out in just a few weeks, and I think it's gonna be a hit. I think it is slowly ramping up to be a really big summer title, and it's really, really soon, so excited for that one. Splatoon 3 is not so soon, September. Well, I guess it's sort of close, but they continue to be just befuddling to me. Today they showed off roller weapons. Okay, what is new about Splatoon? I'm still fingers crossed that E3 has the big reveal of a new mode or why this game has a 3 in front of it instead of a 2. But as of right now, they keep just hammering home the point that Splatoon 3 is a lot like Splatoon 2. And I know, like, you can't just change everything. Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2 kept a lot of similarities, but they haven't really made the case for why this game is a big deal. Now, I feel like when Splatoon 3 was announced, everyone went crazy, and it should be one of the massive releases of 2022, and I feel like everybody's napped on it because Nintendo has made us feel that way. Like, they are being sleepy with their rollout, but they have been ramping up late in the game. Like, Strikers is out in 2 weeks, and that game is just now starting to ramp up, so I suppose Splatoon is saving it for some E3 presentation, its own direct, who knows, but yeah, rollers are back in the game. All right, now, we gotta talk about something super serious, which is Nintendo and Mario. No, not the sports Mario, this is Super Mario. I wanna walk you back to September 3rd, 2020, nearly 22 months ago. Nintendo announced the 35th anniversary celebration of Super Mario Bros. And they presented many cool things, including a collection that comprised the best 3D Mario games, except for one. At the time, we were confused, but kind of accepted that, okay, Galaxy 2 would be coming shortly after. And then Nintendo didn't make a peep. Fans decided to get really riled up and said, okay, we want Galaxy 2 because this is one of the 10 best games of all time, according to Metacritic. It's probably better than Galaxy. It might be, by some people's account, the most fun, creative, best 3D Mario of all time, and Nintendo acts like it doesn't exist. Then let me take you forward to March 2021, over a year ago. Nintendo said, Mario 3D All-Stars Collection, no longer. We're snapping that thing out of existence like we're a big purple thumb. And then that was it. Since then, it has been about 15 months and Nintendo has not made a peep about Mario. Mario 3D All-Stars Collection has not returned in official capacity. Those games have not hit the eShop, and most criminally of all, Mario Galaxy 2 is nowhere to be found. Today marks the 12th anniversary of Super Mario Galaxy 2 releasing back in 2010 on this very day, May 23rd. And all I gotta say is, what the heck? Nintendo has completely botched the rollout of the Mario 35th anniversary. In hindsight, they really screwed it up. Yes, they did some nice things back then, but they have removed almost all of them. It's like the celebration didn't ever exist. The special Super Mario Bros. 35 was zoinked off of Nintendo Switch Online. If you remember, that was the cool sort of like race through the levels as fast as you can, compete against other people, Mario Battle Royale thing. Actually very neat and fun. They erased it. Mario 3D All-Stars was incomplete without Galaxy 2, and they erased that. And they didn't provide any way for people to pick up these games. Now, I know so much of the focus these days is on Nintendo Switch Online. It's on N64, it's on Super Nintendo, it's on the prospect of GBA. But I want to make a case that one of the biggest missings, one of the biggest faux pas, one of the biggest missteps for Nintendo in the online space is not including these 3D Mario games into their online service, a way for you to individually buy them. I think we all just stupidly crossed our fingers and hoped that Nintendo would add Galaxy 2 eventually, that they'd bring all these games and want to make money, but they didn't. And they would make so much money. How many of you would pay 20 bucks for Galaxy 2 on your Switch? And how many of you would rather spend 20 bucks on Galaxy 2 than an N64 game that maybe has a game-breaking bug like Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards had when it released last week? Now, I know that there is fun to be had on all these different platforms, but Galaxy 2 is a major missing. There's really no good way to play that game except the original release. So many of these titles have been re-released and re-released and re-released, and if you have the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, well, you have a bunch of them. But Galaxy 2 somehow is the black sheep, when in fact it's a golden sheep. And I just think Nintendo has completely screwed the pooch on this one. They missed a huge opportunity to make money, they missed a huge opportunity to make fans happy, and they kind of just rubbed dirt in the face of Mario's big celebration. Now look, clearly celebrations mean more to us than Nintendo, judging by how they approach Zelda's big anniversary, aka nothing. And Mario's now has been mostly erased. I find this to be so strange. And at this point, I don't see hope for Galaxy 2 ever returning, which would be criminal. It is the coolest of that era Mario titles. It brought so much good Yoshi action into the midst, and it really built upon Galaxy and introduced all these crazy quirky ideas that the team had extra years to build out, work on, and imagine. It is such a fun time, and we can't play it on Switch. I think this would be such a successful addition to the eShop. And I want to know how many of you feel the same way. Do you think Nintendo is just completely missing the mark on Galaxy 2? It's been 22 months since the 35th anniversary. It has been over a year since they took the games away, and they've shown no care, sign, or any indication that it'll come back. So I have to believe that Nintendo doesn't feel it's important. And that seems to be so odd from a company that loves to double, triple, quadruple, synctuple, scoop it up like an ice cream cone, your money on old games. They will sell you Mario 64 many iterations. They will sell you Super Mario Bros. Many iterations. But they won't sell you Galaxy 2. And I gotta say, with a lot of prospects of Wind Waker HD and or Twilight Princess HD coming back this fall, I would rather Nintendo give Galaxy 2 a shot than those Zelda games that have already been given multiple shots. We've seen so many great titles ported over to Switch, and yet this is a glaring hole. And so on this anniversary, on this day, I just wanted to stake my claim that Nintendo messed up, that Mario Galaxy 2 deserves better. I wish it would come, and at this point, I've given up all hope. And that is super sad, because Galaxy worked really well on Switch, it was a lot of fun, and I thought the 35th anniversary meant more to Nintendo. Oh boy, getting into my feelings there about Mr. Mario. Let's go to the Multiversus. All right, this game has been winning my heart over. It doesn't have the same characters as Smash Bros, but it does do a lot of the same things and kind of incites the same excitement in me. I'm really curious to see the rest of the roster, and I asked you all, would you try and download Multiversus if they brought it to Switch, especially considering it's a free title? 69% of you said yes, 31% of you said no, and I have to imagine those 31% probably aren't the biggest Smash fans, or you just think the Warner Brothers roster is lame. And look, I was right there with you. I thought the Warner Brothers roster was lame, but as you play it, you realize they really just get the characters, they really give them unique abilities, and even if you're not a fan of Adventure Time or Steven Universe, which I am not, it's still a great fighter, and the team-up mechanics make it really fresh. All the unlocks actually are cool, and the different perks and abilities you can add on, it does feel like an evolution. So fingers crossed Multiversus becomes a big thing and does come to Switch. In the meantime though, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great start to your week. We're getting closer and closer to E3, not E3, and I really hope we get some announcements soon. I'll have you covered as soon as they drop. Hit that like button on your way out, and until next time, everybody, thanks again. Love you lots. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. SwitchForce, out.